is happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Well, JJ Wang, 12 weeks down, only 2 more weeks of most fantasy regular seasons. I'm getting kind of sad. I'm getting into that stages of grief.
I mean, I am going to be sad, but I will say it's going to be a lot less stress in my life. I mean, I
Yeah.
like living a lifestyle that gives me the least amount of responsibility possible. It's the kind of life that I like to live. A lot of people like a lot of responsibility. Me, I'm the complete opposite. I like zero responsibility. And fantasy, I mean, it doesn't, it's not my job or anything, but I mean, there's a lot of responsibility for as much, as I involve myself with it. So,
Yeah.
and I will say when it's over, I will have like a lot lower responsibility than I do now, which is good.
Yeah, it's I'm sitting there and it's funny how all of my teams did great except for one, my team in our auction league, which there's like 7 of us at 7-4, and I'm the one to lose. So that puts me into 7th place.
Yeah, it
And
sucks.
my team put up numbers, and then Jalen Hurts just butchered me last night.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that whole run game evidently it butchered a lot of people.
I was like, man, I finally had a good week. I thought I might squeak into the playoffs. No, nope, I'm
Yeah.
doomed.
I'm like that.
But
I'm like that in a couple of leagues, so it's tough.
I mean, and my other teams did great. They survived some big mess ups. But a couple of news things as we head into JJ Wang's Monday Fun Day early week game day. Hey, Deshaun Watson back in the league next week, ready to roll. He's officially activated. What do you expect from Deshaun Watson this week and going forward?
I have literally no idea. They didn't look great in the preseason. I mean, but no, not a lot of people do. It's been 2 years since he's played football. It's a long time to not play. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still in good shape, but I mean, if there's big layoff, coming back from 2 years of not playing actual football. But I mean, he might be a little rusty in the beginning, but at the end of the day, I think he is an elite talent. So I think he'll be all right. I mean, his
So,
team's good. Got a good
say,
team.
say you have a team where you have Tua, Trevor Lawrence, and Deshaun Watson. Are you setting Deshaun Watson this week over Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, definitely.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah, I would definitely. I'm still starting Trevor because Trevor Lawrence
He's
looks
looked
good.
awesome. Yeah.
Tua looks really good, and so I think both of them are like kind of hitting their stride right now. I wouldn't kind of mess up what you got going on with Watson. I mean, you're in a lucky situation that you can wait until Watson, starts
Oh
playing
yeah.
well. A lot of people don't have that. They've been waiting on Watson to come back. You're in that situation, play Watson. Absolutely, he's going to be a starting quarterback. But like in your friend situation, I'd just go with Lawrence and obviously Tua.
Oh, I am. Also, a couple of tidbits here. Daryl Henderson, we talked about, got cut last week, picked up by the Jaguars, but he didn't play. I guess they kind of wish they'd had him this week, but I guess not really. We'll talk about that in Surefire Waste. But what do you think? Is he just a guy down there, or is he insurance, or is he gonna get the James Robinson role?
I mean, I think he's just a guy. I don't think. I mean, honestly, from what I've seen, I don't see him being that much better than Jermichael Hasty. Hasty looks pretty good. And then if ETN said he could have come back in the game, and if ETN is playing, he's going to get the majority of the workload. I mean, he's just an extra body, big body in the cog of running backs.
How about another running back signing? Melvin Gordon to the Kansas City practice squad. What does this mean? Are you worried for Pacheco touchdowns?
I don't think I'm not really worried. I think this just is an insurance policy for Hilaire's going on the IR. They just need because they've got what, 2 running backs. They got McKinnon and Pacheco. We all know McKinnon's injury history. Pacheco is a rookie. He looks good. He looks like he's got a good burst. He's playing well. But like I said, in this day and age, Melvin Gordon is a warm body in the backfield who can produce when given the opportunity. I guess they should bring him in for insurance purposes.
Real quick question before you get to Booyahs. Are we going to talk about Russell Wilson this week?
Yeah, we'll bring him up.
Okay, remind me fun stat when we get into the Russell Wilson thing.
Does it involve Carson Wentz?
It does. Are you going to use it?
No.
But
I seen that too. Seen that earlier.
I do have a treat for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Booyahs and
What'd you think of that?
I like it. We might
Smooth.
have to talk. We have to talk off air. We might have to make a few adjustments. But yeah, that sounds good. I like the intro to the smooth
Hip
jazz
hop, jazz
intro.
hop.
Yeah,
It's like the Roots crew, man. It's like the Roots.
yeah. But yeah, I like it. It gives mellows me out a little bit. All right, so we'll start with the Booyahs real quick. So I think the first Booyah is going to go to Jordan Love here. I think he's coming in. I think he's finally getting his opportunity. This is his opportunity to prove whether or not he can be playing in the NFL. I'm not 100% sure if Aaron Rodgers is going to be healthy to play, and if Aaron Rodgers misses a game or two and Jordan Love is playing well, you
Mm.
can't bring Aaron Rodgers back in if Jordan Love is playing well. If he's evidently your future, so you give a Booyah to Jordan Love. He come in, he looked good. I mean, he threw the touchdown pass to the guy we'll talk about later. But he looked good. I'm like I said, he hasn't played a lot. I mean, he
Yeah.
doesn't have a lot of game action, so he's going to make mistakes. So you got to just come in, let him play. We'll see how it goes. A lot of people don't like him, so but booyah to him. Here's your opportunity, dude.
Hey, 6 of 9, a buck 13 and a touchdown. I mean, what can you do? What
Yeah, I
can
mean,
you do?
you can't do. I think like you said, he's looked good enough to make start next week, which he's going to. I guess if Aaron Rodgers, he sounds pretty banged up at the moment.
Yeah,
So
it'll be. I think Aaron Rodgers would have to say, "I'm benching myself for him not to play." To be honest.
yeah. We'll talk. I think we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers in a little bit too. So we'll get a lot of Packers talking. So
Ooh,
hope we got some Packers fans out there that enjoy this.
someone stayed up late last night.
No, I was in bed like 8 a.m. So yeah. So my second booyah is a rookie running back that got some playing time in a kind of like a good situation for him. He's with the Jets, and that's Zonovan
Mm.
Knight. So I know this guy because I watched him so I was watching some combine video and I seen this guy pop. I don't know a lot about him. I know he's from NC State. He's pretty fast. So I seen a video of his combine pop. I mean, he was doing this cone drill or foot drill. This is literally the fastest feet I think I've ever seen. It looks like one of
Yeah.
the like a cartoon where his feet like he's got like 1,000 feet and they're just like that's literally what it
Really?
looked like. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But I mean, I've picked him up pretty much every league over the last couple of days. But what's his face gets hurt? What's his name? Mike Carter
Michael Carter.
got
Yeah.
hurt. I don't know how serious it is, but their backup is Ty Johnson. Ty Johnson's just a guy. But I think Booyah deserves the Zonovan Knight. He has 14 carries for 69 yards. So I mean, I think there's an opportunity here for him to prove that he belongs in the NFL.
Yeah. I was like, where in the world did he come from?
Yeah,
And Robinson, I'm trying to pull up stuff here.
he
Was
was a healthy
he?
scratch.
He was healthy. Okay, that was what I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out. So kind of like, are you gonna talk about your quarterback for the Bears?
No,
That's
I'm not going to
hilarious.
bring that up. Okay.
Hell, you had no quarterbacks to start. You pick up Peterson and then they start Simeon. Man, that
Yeah,
was a big
because I
slap to
got
your
the
face. Yeah,
update
me
that
too.
Peterman was going to start. I was like, well, I'm going to pick him up real quick. At least I have a starting quarterback. And then it was time to start, and Simeon's playing. I was like, what is going on? But whatever. I mean, it was Peterman. Probably would have got me
Same
negative
amount of
points.
points. Sure.
So it probably would have got me negative points. He throws a lot of interceptions. So my other one, I just owe an apology here. Obviously I was wrong, and I give a booyah to Zeke Elliott. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to be an RB1 just like he always is. Pollard was nowhere to be found. So I mean, I guess they're paying him his money. My God, I give him the rock, right? So
Does that make you
sorry,
sad?
I was down. I apologize. So booyah goes to Elliott for proving me wrong.
Maybe he could catch a couple of passes. That would be a little helpful. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean that could always be a little more help. I mean, we could always ask for a little more Josh Jacobs in our life, right?
Oh,
But we'll get to that. We'll get to that too. Don't worry.
that's my apology.
Yeah. So my boohoo just goes to one team. And that's the 49ers. I mean, that whole offense I think is a disaster. Uh there's just so many weapons, so many options. They don't pass enough to do anything with it at the moment. They just play really, really good defense and just do enough on offense. So big old boohoo to everybody that was starting 49ers.
I mean, it's funny that we're boohooing them and they still won
Oh
because
yeah.
the Saints were worse. As
Oh
bad as the
yeah.
49ers were, the Saints were worse. How great. Like the 49ers, how do you have these weapons and put up 13 points? I mean, Elijah Mitchell, 7 for 35. McCaffrey, 11 for 32. Jordan Mason looked really good, actually, in his 5 carries. Ayuk had 65 yards. Debo, 43 yards. Like, who's deep? Kittle, 3 for 26. Like, what? Shanahan, I thought he was a genius.
But I think this is what happens when Jimmy Garoppolo is your quarterback. He can't I don't even think they throw it deep. Do they even throw the ball deep? Does anything go longer than 10 yards outside the numbers down the field? I mean, it's just like everything is like crossing patterns, short outs. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo just will Jimmy G have his good games? Sure.
Yeah.
But I think Jimmy Garoppolo just limits the offense. And I still say it would look better with Trey Lance.
This game was so terrible. I didn't even have the red zone on, so I could watch. I was watching the Chargers, Cardinals, and Rams Chiefs game on my 2 screens I had. I'd go over every now and then to the Raiders Seahawks when that became a game. I was like, wow, this game's over. Then it became a game. Like, what just happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I could like the 49ers Saints game. I was just I was like, this is terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, it was bad. All right. So switch over to the pleasure and pain. First guy I'm going to admit we already mentioned him a little bit. That's Trevor Lawrence. He's looked good last couple. I think he's finally getting back. Getting to that point where we thought he could be. So is Trevor Lawrence earning your trust? I mean, is it gotten to that point yet?
I got Trevor Lawrence on 2 teams, and I love T Law. I traded for him at the beginning of the year and I traded away my Trey Lance share. And I got him another league, one of our leagues where I was talking about Watson. He's looked so good. I'm still scared. I mean, I want him to be good. I mean, I'm kind of confused why his lead receiver is Zay Jones. That's beside the point. But I want it to be good. I want it to be not fool's gold. I hope this is the Trevor Lawrence that our boy Scott was talking about for 3 years before he got the draft team, and our Clemson Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, it was the Ravens. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I think he looks. I mean, when you're throwing to Zay Jones and you can make Zay Jones look really good, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley steps in. Calvin Ridley's going to look. Like you said, he doesn't have a lot of weapons at the moment. Give this guy some good throwing weapons, and I think he'll be all right. Next guy is, of course, Mike White. Come in 30 points, makes Zach Wilson look like the worst quarterback in the history of the world, which Zach Wilson could be the worst quarterback in the history of the world. But I will say this. Mike White also started out last season like this. Come in, played 2 really, really hot games, and then by the end of it, he had more interceptions than he did touchdowns. But it is a fun story, and I think he's just got to play decent enough, to keep the job for the rest of the year. But like I said, it's Mike White. He's prone to have bad games, but for the moment, it was a pleasure to watch him play. I mean, I'm sure he might have helped out a lot. He helped me out.
He would have helped me out if not for that last Eckler touchdown. I would have won our DK thing. But yeah, dude, he's 27 years old. Do you know that?
Oh yeah, he's an old quarterback. He's not a young chick. He's been around. Yeah, I don't want to say old quarterback, but
well, say you're the Jets. What does Mike White have to do the rest of the season for them? Because I mean, they're going to be middle of the pack. They're already 7-4, so that means they're not going to be in that premier quarterback. If they get a quarterback, they'll get some second or third round dope that they're not going to want out of these top guys. What does Mike White have to do to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets next year?
Well, first thing he's got to do is throw more touchdowns than interceptions.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so I mean, that's key. I mean, if he comes in and just I'm not going to say Mike White is going to get the job. I'm not sure there's anything Mike White can do to get the job, but he can do enough to compete for the job. And I think that's all Mike White can ask for. He's Mike White. He can't ask. He hasn't earned a like a starting spot in the NFL. I'm great. He's in the NFL, so he can start at any moment. But I think he's earned the right to compete for the job. If he plays well. I mean, if he can go 500, or just be competitive, throw more touchdowns than interceptions, and I think they'll bring him back.
Yeah,
because I think the fans love him, and that helps out a lot. I mean, he's a good good guy to have around. Switching over to running backs, I guess the number one guy goes 60-point game. I think this is just everybody's dream here. That's Josh Jacobs. He ended up getting like the walk-off 86-yard touchdown, which really helps out your points. But before that, I mean, he was still having a great game. He's actually catching the ball now. So we all know he's going to be like the top 5 running back or top 10 running back for the rest. We agree with that. But my question is to you. It's not really fantasy related.
I don't know.
But if you're the Raiders, are you bringing him back next year?
He's telling them to. They already messed up by not. I mean, I wouldn't have taken the 5th-year option on a running back anyway. It's the Raiders, so they'll do something stupid like either bring him back or not bring him back, whichever is the dumbest choice at the end of the year. It depends what they. I mean, Zamir White had a 14-yard per carry clip yesterday, so I mean, Zamir White is the future, if not Josh Jacobs. Are they going to see running backs as expendable, or are they going to pay him? I don't know. It's. He's my apology for the week. I started August by saying he's a chicken because doesn't want all the carries, and then all of a sudden they give him all the carries. I thought he was giving up
Yeah,
football player.
this is
This
the
is
Jacobs we thought
strange.
we was going to get. But
Yeah,
like I said, I'm staying away from running backs on their second contract. I mean, if he wants to go somewhere else to get paid, fine. Running backs on second contracts just don't work. But he is still a young guy. I mean, he came in the league pretty young. So my next guy, a little older here. I mean, we kind of rag on him all the time, but he does seem how produce every week, and that's James Conner. He, I think he had his first 100-yard game since 2020. Like he literally gets every rushing carry. I mean, it's hard to not at least start him, and there's a place for him to start on your team. So, James Conner. It's always
great story. Great story.
Yeah. So that's all we got to say about James Conner because there's nothing else. My next guy I'm trying to figure this out. That's DK Metcalf. He has 15 targets, right? So I'm watching. He catches 11 of them, and I'm watching him play. Usually when I watch DK Metcalf play, it's, hey, we're going to throw it deep to him for about 20 yards. Then he'll take like a 15 play break, throw it deep to him. But this time he was getting short ends, slants out, like these short passes. I mean, why don't we see more of this from DK? And then every now and then, and they only had 90 yards, but 11 catches for 90 yards. I mean, that's a great start because he's going to bomb touchdown. Why can't we see more of this?
It's an 8.2 clip. I mean, maybe they finally figured it out and they'd be like, yeah, we should see more of this.
I mean, he's a big dude boxing out these little corners. I mean, he's in the first 5 yards, I feel like he can get a break on anybody. So
is this what also Philadelphia figured out that Tennessee didn't know? Because AJ Brown, I mean, DK and AJ are basically, two giant monsters. But they were both. AJ was known for his long bombs too, and he's getting more possession kind of stuff as well. So maybe they're figuring out, oh yeah, big guy. They're tight ends basically with receiver speed.
Give him the rock. My second one is a rookie. He's been popping off all year. That's Garrett Wilson. He looks good when you got a quarterback throwing for a lot of yards. He had 2 touchdowns. I think is quickly becoming the wide receiver 1 out of that group. But there's also Christian Watson coming on strong. So. But yeah, Garrett Wilson looks real good if the offense can, maintain a good passing game.
Dynasty team, who would you rather have, Christian Watson or Garrett Wilson?
Both of them, their quarterback situations kind of iffy, but neither one of them have competition for targets. I think they're both can be the guy, but I think Garrett Wilson's still a better wide receiver.
Yeah, that's my answer too.
But Christian Watson looks great. All right, over to the Pains. I'm going to bring this guy up first because it just amazes me how bad this is right now. And that is Russell Wilson. This is literally the worst. I understand the coach might be bad, but Russell Wilson is supposed to be better than this. I mean, he's not really doing anything. So if you're in a position, let's say you've got Sam Darnold and you've got Russell Wilson, who are you going to start?
I quit fantasy football. I'm done. I mean, you're starting Sam Darnold, aren't you?
You got to. At least there's upside in Sam Darnold, I feel like. I feel like there's literally zero upside in Russell Wilson.
I keep saying it. Okay, Russell's going to step up. Okay, Russell's going to step up.
He doesn't.
What in the world is going on?
So let me hear that stat.
I'm trying. I don't have the exact stat, but Carson Wentz has more touchdowns than Russell Wilson, and he hasn't played since week 6.
So Carson Wentz has 10 touchdowns. I think Russell Wilson has 6 or 7.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and Wentz hasn't played since week 6. Yeah, it's stupid.
It's just like, wow. What, like, how? What? I want Russell Wilson to be hurt. I really do. Like, that's the only explanation because he was so good for so long that you can't be this bad. Quarterbacks don't drop off like this unless they're like 45, and that it doesn't even make sense. Like I can't wrap my brain around it.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I don't know, but it's traditionally. I just like bringing it up because it's $250 million mistake they're going to have to live with. My second guy is Aaron Rodgers. Gets injured. He's already been hurt. Could this be the last we see of Aaron Rodgers in a Packers uniform?
Uh, didn't they sign him to 3 years?
But I mean, it's probably one of those contracts where he can get at. If he can, if they like Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers still wants to play, I'm pretty sure they can get out of it pretty easy.
Yeah. If he's hurt, yeah, he doesn't play the rest of the year, probably. If he comes back, I mean, he looked like he was starting to have fun. Like they're talking about that, because he was hitting his boy Cobb, got that touchdown early, and then he was they said he seems happier with like his best friend back in the game and not having to throw to these stupid rookies. Um, that I mean, but then again, maybe he just has to go to Houston and take Randall Cobb with him back to Houston.
Maybe we'll see. So I got two running backs. Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook. Kamara's struggling at the moment. Seems to be boomer bust. Dalvin Cook. I mean, he's okay.
I get that one at least.
But I mean, it's rough for both of them at the moment.
Yeah, but at least Alvin Kamara had to go against the Vikings defense. I mean, they put up the game had points scored, but at least he was going against the Patriots defense. He had a 1.9 clip against the Patriots. Okay, I get that. Alvin Kamara is doing diddly squat against terrible teams. I mean, at least the 49ers have a good defense, but Alvin Kamara just basically pooped the bed beyond all pooping. And 7 for 13, 2 fumbles, and 6 catches for 37 yards. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not good. I think this is probably obviously the end of Alvin Kamara being that guy. But like I said, he's for what you've got, but what you paid for Alvin Kamara in the beginning. I mean, this is like a Hall of Fame fantasy career.
Yeah.
If there was a Hall of Fame fantasy guy, Alvin Kamara would be there. Two receivers. I got Mike Evans, Christian Kirk, 446, bad game after we hype him up. After I hype him up, and then Mike Evans has been poo-poo pretty much all year, just not the Mike Evans that we've come to know. Chris Godwin looked good. Mike Evans not so much.
Chris Godwin looks really good. This is the Chris Godwin we thought we'd get. We just needed him to bounce back from the thing. Mike Evans, I mean, he's had some good games this year. I think we forget it because there's been such bad games. I mean, not even Russell Wilson's had a good game. His first game, maybe, one game. But it's Garbo. I don't know. I mean, in Dynasty, are you holding Mike Evans?
I mean,
you're gonna get lowballed.
Yeah, you're not going to get much from Mike Evans at this point. So I think you just got to put him in there, maybe like a wide receiver 3, boomer bust type guy, and just hope get some touchdown. Hope that offense starts, clicking a little bit in the passing game. But
they lost to the Browns.
Yeah, it was bad. So that's the pleasure I'm paying for today, man.
Oh wow! Quick question for you: in Dynasty, Russell Wilson, since he is signed to Broncos for so many years, what would you give to? What lowball offer would you give to see if some owner really hates him? Would you roster him on a dynasty league with deep rosters?
I mean, I think if I can get him for a second at this point,
that's what I got him for a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it is Russell Wilson, and they're second round picks, so I mean, I really don't care about them. But if I give somebody I'll give you a second round pick for Russell Wilson. I mean, that's about as far as I would get.
That's what I did. Like, I'm thinking even worse at this point. I think you get him for like a sack of potatoes. That's why, I'm on. Yeah. I got him for a second because I had that Josh Allen scare, and that's all I could get. So thank goodness Josh Allen's not hurt. But as we say,
surefire waste of a touchdown.
Okay, we're back and we're hot this week on wasting some touchdowns. There's a pile of them. We're gonna start. Dallas 2-yard run. Of course, Zeke gets 2. Nope. Tony Pollard, the 1 week I started him in DFS. Oh, no. Peyton Hendershot 2-yard touchdown run. That is for sure.
A surefire waste of a touchdown. At least I have heard of that guy.
Yeah, he's a rookie, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I've just heard of him. I don't know anything about him. I've just heard of him.
Hey, as bad as we talk about Russell Wilson, he did throw a touchdown, a 1-yard pass. Thank goodness it was Cortland. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, wait, Kendall Hinton's getting a lot of passes, but no, it's not him either. Oh, Greg Dulcich is who everybody I played against wanted it to be too. Nope. Brandon Johnson. Never even heard of the dude. You've heard of him? You probably have him on your one team, right?
No. This is a surefire waste of this is a surefire waste of a touchdown. But where do the Broncos keep finding these random guys to throw it to? I feel like every week there's a new receiver that nobody knows, and he's throwing bombs or touchdowns to. This is dreadful.
I mean, wouldn't it be a double surefire waste? Like if you're starting Russell, nobody's starting Russell Wilson, right? Let's talk about Tampa. Tom Brady, who isn't going to have 8 million completions, or like your prediction for this year, and I having all those past him. Like I was with you, I would have bought that if you said over under. Had a 5-yard touchdown pass. We said Evans stinks. Godwin had a great game. Nope, wasn't him. It was a dude. I don't know if I'm going to say his name right, but he sounds pretty awesome. Keift. 5-yard touchdown pass from Tom Brady. Yeah, I believe he's a tight end, but since we don't even know who he is, that's definitely a
surefire waste of a touchdown. What happened to Cade Otton? I thought Cade Otton was like the guy.
He's the Cade Co. They like cool names of their tight ends now since Gronk, Cade Co. That's what we're going with. We're talking about my boy Trevor Lawrence, 28-yard touchdown pass to the running back. Oh, Etienne's he was out, but they said he could have came back in. That's kind of weird. I guess they're saving him for the non-playoff run. But yeah, it's a guy who we know, but I don't think we started it. Michael Hasty, 28-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence. That's pretty money, but it still is a
surefire waste of a touchdown. I mean, yeah, as long as Etienne's healthy, all of his touchdowns will be surefire waste.
I keep forgetting he's not a 49er. I mean, I keep playing him, talking about him as
and my boy Jamal Agnew's still out there producing too.
Oh, so I didn't waste his touchdown because I have him on a couple places. So.
Yeah, but you didn't start him anyway.
Oh, never. So on the other side of the ball, Lamar Jackson, who looked like poo at the beginning of the game, and all of a sudden put up 30 points by the end of the game. I was like, wow, where'd that come from? Lamar Jackson had a 12-yard touchdown pass to his tight end, Josh Oliver. Mark did get the 2-point conversion, but Josh Oliver, that's for sure a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Wasn't he like tight end 1 this week?
Didn't even look at the numbers to pull it up.
Stupid. Tight ends are stupid.
But yeah,
stupid. Tight ends or no, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, this is a 2-for-1er. Let's go to Chicago, where there's a touchdown pass to a receiver. It's Nathan. Oh wait, no, he's not playing this week. So JJ Wang started at 0. So it's Trevor Siemian to Darnell Mooney. Oh, by the way, Mooney probably out for the year. He got ankle surgery, I believe. To Byron Pringle. Wow, what a double whammy. Not even Cole Kmet. That's a 2-fer, but that's still a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, Cole Kmet doesn't seem to play very well when Justin Fields ain't in there.
Yeah, 32-yard touchdown run for the Jets. It's going to be our boy Carter. Nope, he got hurt. Robinson Stetton. Oh, it's your boy's night. Nope.
That'll be next week.
That'll be next week. But it's Ty Johnson, who we know. Nope, everybody's starting. No, they didn't, because that's a
surefire waste of a touchdown. I mean, kudos for guys like Ty Johnson just plugging along NFL careers, man.
This one makes me want to puke a little bit. 3-yard touchdown run in the Houston Texans. My boy Dameon Pierce. No, he's continuing to just kick me in the butt. Dare Ogabawale. 3-yard touchdown pass. I love that dude. But come on, man. That's a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Why isn't Pierce getting every carry that Steve produces?
Dude, I don't know. Like, he was out a lot. I was watching.
He looks it's rough right now. It's bad. It's tough to be a Dameon Pierce.
Okay, 16-yard pass from Taylor Heineke to Terry McLaurin. No. Logan Thompson. No. John Bates. Yeah, that's for sure a
surefire waste of a touchdown. No Logan Thomas.
No Logan Thomas. No. I got an 18-yard pass from Derek Carr to a running back. It must be another one for Josh Chick. No. Oh, Zamir White, the rookie. No, it's everybody who they thought from earlier in the season might do something, but hasn't. Amir Abdullah, 18-yard touchdown pass. That's a
surefire waste of a touchdown. It's hard to believe people thought Amir Abdullah would be productive.
Last one. Let's talk about Seattle. 18-yard pass, and it must be DK. No, not big enough. It's Tyler Lockett. About Tyler Lockett's space. No. It's got to be Ken Walker. No, he looked like garbage for that touchdown. It's Travis Homer with an 18-yard pass from Geno Smith. That's a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Ken Walker had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, 2. Oh yeah, he did. It looks good for a garbage day. But that's all I got for this week.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, that was an enjoyable one. I mean, some weeks we have 12, and other weeks we have like two. It's crazy, but all right, with the end of the season coming up, or the end of the regular season coming up, there's gonna be a lot of stress-filled days for those fifth, sixth, seventh seed teams. So if you're in Dynasty, you need to figure out where you're at. If you're in, if you're at the end or you're in the beginning, because I mean, you can win kind of two ways in Dynasty. You can either win by going to the Super Bowl, or you can win by in the draft. I mean, a lot of people choose that way, but like the worst, like everybody always says, the worst place is to be in the middle. You don't want to be there.
Dallas Cowboys.
For the last 25 years. It's amazing. But yeah, pick a side. Either you're all in or you want to rebuild. So as always, trust yourself and trust the process.